Greetings, owners of fine luxury cardboard rectangles. We are here to open some fine luxury cardboard rectangles from Core Set 2021. Now, if you've already watched the video I released earlier, you will know that it took me forever to get through 6 booster packs. So, I'm going to do basically a contrast and compare sort of setup. I'm going to open, ideally, all these packs right now in this video, but we're only going to look at the uncommons and rares, all right? So that should speed up the process overall. And you can let me know, those of you who have watched both videos, which is more enjoyable for you, all right? So you'll have to have watched both videos to really be able to understand what I'm driving at and the difference between the two. But starting out here with Kite Sail Freebooter. 1 black and 1 for a 1/2 flyer. When it enters the battlefield, target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-creature, non-land card from it. Exile that card until Kite Sail Freebooter leaves the battlefield. So you've got a pirate who flies around stealing scrolls. He's literally stolen your opponent's knowledge. I'm out of here, chump. That's fun. That's silly. An interesting include. He's only 1/2, so it's not like he's difficult to deal with. And you do get the information from looking at your opponent's hand. Not too shabby. Then we've got Traitorous Greed. 1 red and 3 for a sorcery that says gain control of target creature until end of turn. Untap that creature. It gains haste until end of turn. Add 2 mana of any one color. What a weird spell. It literally lets you steal your opponent's creature and then adds 2 mana of any color. So if that creature has an activated ability that's outside your colors, I think this is the first, what are these spells called? The first card I remember with this ability was Threaten. I think this is one of the first spells with this ability that actually addresses being able to use activated abilities that cost like different colored mana. It's all right. And the artwork, you can see this crazy dragon. He's just flying along, getting ready to like, I don't know. It's weird. Traitorous Greed. Was the dragon supposed to be a servant of the knights? What exactly is going on in this artwork? I don't know. Whatever. It looks cool. Then we've got Reign of Revelation. 1 blue and 3. Draw 3 cards, then discard a card. As the sky opened up, we ran for shelter. Halfway there, I came to the sudden realization that already soaked, there might be more to gain from experiencing the rain than running from it. It's magic rain for the hippie lady. Aw, yeah. Then the rare is Hooded Blight Fang. 1 black and 2 for a 1/4 Death Touch. When a creature you control with Death Touch attacks, each opponent loses a life when you gain a life. And whenever a creature you control with Death Touch deals damage to a planeswalker, destroy that planeswalker. Not too shabby. This thing can take out planeswalkers all on its own. It's just a big, massive, crazy desert snake with necrotic sort of magic emanating from around it. I dig that. That's not too shabby. And then we've got the land and whatever. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Moving on to the next pack. Yeah, I decided, like, I don't know. I figured it'd be weird if we went through the commons again that we had talked about, so rather than just talking about some random commons and skipping other ones in a weird way that makes no sense, I figured we would just not bother to cover them anymore in this video. All right, what do we got? Light of Promise. 1 white and 2 for an enchant creature that says enchanted creature has whenever you gain life, put that many +1/+1 counters on this creature. So it's like a hyped up Pride Mate ability. The flavor text says, the light washed over him, and in the wind he heard the roars of all the Pride Mates who had come before. Yeah, all right, it says it right there in the flavor text. And you can see literally a Pride Mate with all of this power, his destiny being fulfilled. Oh, you're so special. All right, then we've got Riddle Form. 1 blue and 1 for an enchantment that says whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you can have Riddle Form become a 3/3 Sphinx with flying until end of turn. And for a blue and 2, you can scry 1. So it'll let you look at the top of your deck and also turn into a crazy Sphinx if you need some beaten stick meat action, whatever that means. And then in the artwork, you can see here is the Sphinx that has been summoned up by that. We saw that in the last video. We've got Kinetic Augur. 1 red and 3 for a star 4 with trample. Its power is equal to the number of instants and sorcery cards in your graveyard. When it enters the battlefield, discard up to 2 cards, then draw that many cards. Not too shabby. A decent way to get rid of your more expensive spells that might beef up his power. The artwork looks silly. It looks silly. You know, you've just got this, like, person, I'm coming down the mountain, I'm gonna get you with my arms. It's just, you look silly. The whole pose, I don't know. It just looks silly to me. Then we've got the green-black temple. If you like scrying or tapping for green or black mana, that's for you. It's more right artwork, though. Not too bad. You got the whole shrine here going on. And then we got a mountain and a cat that kind of looks a little bit like E.T. from back here, don't it? Don't that look like E.T. to you? All right. Yeah, we're making progress here. We're making progress. Let's do this, boys. Boys and ladies. Although, according to my statistics on my YouTube account, there aren't very many ladies here. And I suspect those stats are skewed even by people using like their parents' accounts and stuff. So we got Skyway Sniper. 1 green for a 1/2 elf archer with reach. Pay a green and 2. It deals 1 damage to target creature with flying. No sight is more beautiful than a clear sky. This is pretty straightforward. You have your anti-air defenses. Green needs this sort of thing. Sure, it's expensive, but at least it's repeatable, so that's not too bad. For 1 mana, that's actually an alright card. And the artwork's pretty straightforward. You have an archer ready to loose arrows, and that's it. Pretty straightforward. Already knocked some Thopters out of the sky, it looks like. Maybe there's another one floating in the back. Then we've got Chandra's Pyreling. 1 red and 1 for a 1/3 elemental lizard. Whenever a source you control deals non-combat damage to opponent, Chandra's Pyreling gets +1/+0 and double strike till end of turn. And the flavor text says, I think Chandra just wanted something to blame random scorch marks on. Dun dun dun. And the artwork shows, looks like a little fire iguana with a little bit of fiery hair like he wants to be like Chandra. It's pretty cool. I like the way that they showed him in the darkness here. Faith's Fetters, originally from Ravnica. 1 white and 3 for an enchantment that makes it so you can't use the enchanted permanent's activated abilities or attack or block with it, and you gain 4 life when it comes out. Not too shabby. Showing a demon all bound up here in the Fetters of Faith. Take that, buddy. And we've got the rare is Transmogrify. All right, this is like pretty much Polymorph redone as a red spell. 1 red and 3, exile target creature. That creature's controller reveals cards from the top of their library until they reveal a creature card. They put that creature card onto the battlefield and then shuffle their deck. I'd like to introduce you to the new and improved me. This guy's transmogrifying himself? What? What? Okay. I guess that's what's going on. The flavor text is a little bit confusing. What? So I guess the idea is this soldier is turning into this spectral, or is this supposed to be him transmogrifying into a person? Which way is the transmogrification occurring? I feel like you'd want it to go from little donk to big boy. So I'm going to go, that's what it was. This is what it will be. And we got a foil, but unfortunately it's just a wind-scarred crag. All right, and then we got a swamp and a zombor. A zombor. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going, man. Let's just keep on. Let's keep it rolling, my friends. All right, where are the uncommons? Here we go. Sanctum of Stonefangs. 1 black and 1 for one of the legendary shrines. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, each opponent loses X life, and you gain X life, where X is the number of shrines you control. Renounce all limits. False Chains binding potential. Power knows no bounds. All right, pretty straightforward. This is a pretty unpleasant shrine that drains the life of your enemies. All right. Then we've got Siege Striker, 1 white and 2 for a double striker that is 1/1. Whenever it attacks, you may tap any number of untapped creatures you control, and it gets +1/+1 for each creature tapped this way. He seems like he's going to be a beast in drafts. You know what I mean? The artwork is pretty straightforward. You got this guy charging into a whole squad of goblins. Are the goblins supposed to be charging him on? I don't know, man. The flavor of this card doesn't feel like it ties together. Whatevs. Then we've got Havoc Jester, 1 red and 4 for a 5/5 devil. Whenever you sack a permanent, it deals 1 damage to any target. Oh, we already have a creature that has that ability in standard. That'll be rotating out soon. To the Rakdos, Screams of Delight and Screams of Terror are one and the same. And you can see this is the Havoc Jester. He is, oh man, is he running along on like a flaming wheel? That's pretty hardcore. That's a show right there. A Rakdos show would be interesting to see, but I'd rather just see a recording of it rather than being there because I don't want my life to get ruined. Animal Sanctuary. I did a video on this card. So this is a land that taps for colorless, 2 and tap, put a +1/+1 counter on a bird, a cat, dog, goat, ox, or snake. And you can see in the artwork all the different creatures that are mentioned are shown in multiples mostly. Only one snake, but everybody else has a friend to hang out with. So, whatever, not too shabby. Doesn't really feel like Magic artwork, but, oh, dude, what? Look at this token. That's cool looking. Oh, I'm down. I dig it. That is indeed a weird token. All right. All right. What do we got next? What do we got next? Cracking packs and enjoying cards is a nice way to spend some time, my friends. Get away from all the nonsense of the world. Enjoy yourself. Don't let anybody ever tell you you're not allowed to take some time to enjoy yourself and you always have to be involved in causes and all this other crap. You're totally allowed to spend your time enjoying yourself. You can indulge yourself. Indulging Patrician with one of the most striking pieces of artwork in the entire set. 1 black, 1 white, and 1 for a 1/4 flyer with lifelink. At the beginning of your end step, if you gain 3 or more life this turn, each opponent loses 3 life. Flavor text says, just a nibble for now. I wouldn't want to ruin my appetite. This is a very cool vampire. I really, really like the artwork. She looks fantastic, framed by that blood moon with all the vampire bats flying around in the back, and she's holding her next meal right there. It's such great artwork. Wow. All right. We already saw Light of Promise. Volcanic Geyser's back. Okay. 2 red and X. Deals X damage to any target at instant speed. Pretty straightforward. The common folk call it the breaking of the crust or the spilling of fire. Geomancers call it target practice. Flavor text not so hot. Artwork pretty good though. I mean, look at this. Look at like how intimidating is that? That's a wizard just standing there on this little rocky outcropping that is surrounded by lava and grabbing part of the volcanic mass and just whipping it at you. That's intense flavor. Ooh, Fiery Emancipation. 2 of these have come out of the same box. Dude. 2 red and 3. Enchantment. If a source you control would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals triple that damage to that permanent or player instead. Flavor text says, one day the mountain's fire will rise up to burn away our chains and end this age of oppression. Pretty dope, man. I mean, look at this. Look at this crazy, like, rolling waves of magma and fire and lava. Intense, dude. That's cool. Oh, and a foil rare, a foil hooded Blightfang. We already saw Blightfang, so not too bad. A foil version. Then we got an island and a Saproling. Whatever. I feel like this is definitely progressing at a much better pace to go through more packs. But again, I do want to know what you guys think about this versus the other opening video that I already released on 2021. Because I can only make assumptions without having the actual information directly from you guys. All right, you tavern swindlers, tell me. 1 black and 1 for a 2/2 human rogue. Pay 3 life, flip a coin. Oh, interesting. Flip it. They're bringing coin flipping back in. If you win the flip, you gain 6 life. Huh. All right. Rakdos cultists are her best customers. They never flinch at pain and are seldom good at math. All right, that's some good flavor text. And the artwork shows this like alluring lady kind of half in an alleyway. Like, what's up, buddy? You want to do some gambling? You want to do a little bit of gambling? You pay me some of your life. Maybe you get some of it back. Some kind of like back alley witch who can improve your life, but most likely you're just going to lose out to. Then we've got Enthralling Hold. 2 blue and 3 for a blue aura that says, you control enchanted creature. You can't choose an untapped creature as the spell's target as you cast it. That's interesting to note, is that you can target an untapped creature when you're casting this spell, and if they tap it in response, you'll still get to keep this. You'll still get to have this enchantment happen. So that is an interesting word choice. I offered to pay him to do the job, but he refused, so I took matters into my own hands, and that's Tahim the Puppet Master. Well, that makes sense. I mean, you literally, that's funky. Look at that. You actually have the hand, like a spectral hand that is directly on this guy's head, controlling his mind. You can see the blue glow coming out from his eyes as he's drawn his blade in some sort of like, maybe he's being used to break into someone's house. That's pretty cool. There's some really cool flavor on this card. Then we've got Wildwood Scourge, 1 green and X. Enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters. Whenever 1 or more +1/+1 counters on opponent on a non-Hydra, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Oh, cool. That's all right. I'll probably try that guy out. It's pretty standard Hydra artwork. Nothing like super exciting, but definitely serviceable. And then we've got Garruk's Harbinger. 2 green and 1 for a 4/3 with hexproof from black. Ooh, I like it already. Whenever Garruk's Harbinger deals damage to a Harbinger, I should say, deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, look at that many cards from the top of your library. You may reveal a creature card or Garruk planeswalker from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Wow. Wow. It's 3 mana for a 4/3 that lets you grab creature cards or a Garruk and put it into your hand. This is amazing. That's amazing. Dude, is that Garruk riding it? Oh my god, that is. There's Garruk riding on the back of this thing as it goes crashing through the forest. Oh, I love it. I love it. Oh my god. I love it. Dude, that's awesome. That's awesome. All right. Sweet. Very cool. All right, let's get to the uncommons. What do we got? We got Alpine Houndmaster. Oh yeah, he's the guy who lets you search for 2 different dogs when you put him out. So he's a white and a red for a 2/2. When he comes into play, you're allowed to go and grab Igneous Cur and Alpine Watchdog from your deck. And whenever he attacks, he also gets +X/+0, where X is the number of other attacking creatures. That feels pretty solid. I really like the idea that he has a snow dog and a fire dog. 2 different extremes. I'm down. I like the whole vibe of this, you know? This sort of survival nature. Very cool. Then we've got Havoc Jester. We already saw him. Shipwreck Dowser. 2 white and 3 for a 3/3 Merfolk Wizard with Prowess. When it enters the battlefield, return an instant or sorcery from your graveyard to your hand. And it says, loss at sea doesn't have to mean loss forever. I dig this artwork. It's got the feel of this Merfolk going on a treasure hunt. She's got a very cool lantern that makes me think of Thassa. Overall, 100% dig it. Moving on. Oh, the green-blue temple. All right, well, there it is. It looks like 2 little hands made out of grass or something above some waterfalls and some posts. Some nice artwork, but the temples don't excite me when I'm opening this. I mean, we've already had sets with temples in it, and it's just recent, right? 2020 had them, so they don't feel very hot or exciting. Not really worth dwelling on. Okay, let's get to the uncommons. Man, I was staring at the screen while I was doing that. My eyeball did a weird thing. Unsubstantiate. 1 blue and 1 for a spell that says, return target spell or creature to its owner's hand. Blue's getting some nice cards in this set. Nicely done, Jace. You always were good at disappearing acts. Good job, Liliana. Nice comment. So yeah, this is a fine card. You can see Jace unmaking something. Then we got Leafkin Avenger. 1 green, 1 red, and 2 for a 4/3 Elemental Druid. Add 1 green for each creature you control with power 4 or greater. And 1 red and 7, so for 8, it deals damage equal to its power to target player or planeswalker. That's an expensive ability, but it is 4/3 and it does tap to make you extra mana. So this thing could actually be a beast. My roots are ash, my heart a smoldering ember. What I could not protect, I will avenge. Nice. Ooh, Fierce Empath. Hold on. Need a sip of my beverage here. A sweet little sip of my beverage. Okay. Fierce Empath. 1 green and 2 for a 1/1. When it enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a creature card with converted mana cost 6 or greater. Reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. I'll definitely be playing with this guy in my green deck, 100%. The artwork shows the Fierce Empath. What you guys may not know and why he looks so much like the trees that are around him, spiky and everything, is because it was the effects of the Mirari mutating everybody into parodied, like, insane extreme versions of themselves. So the elves mutated massively. Then we got Godrock, the Crown Scourge. 1 red and 2 for a 5/4 flyer. It can't attack unless you have 4 or more artifacts. At the beginning of your end step, create a treasure token for each non-token creature that died this turn. So you can crank up a bunch of treasure, as I guess Gadrock collects their remains as treasures, and then you'll be able to to use him as an attacker, but he can hang back and block, you know? It's pretty funky. And it doesn't require your creatures to be the ones who are getting offed. So, I mean, for 3 mana, it might be worth messing around with. It might be worth messing around with. Who cares about the Rugged Highlands? Let's get into the next pack. Am I right? Am I right? I'm right. I'm right. All right. What do we got? We got Pestilent Haze. This is the magical haze that affects players and planeswalkers. 2 black and 1. Choose one. All creatures get -2/-2 till end of turn, or remove 2 loyalty counters from each planeswalker. Your crops will rot. The air itself will turn against you. You will suffer as I have suffered. All right. Yeah, it's all right. We already saw the sniper. Dire Fleet Warmonger. 1 red, 1 black, 1 colorless for a 3/3. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may sack another creature. If you do, he gets +2/+2 and trample until end of turn. He feels like draft fodder to me. He looks all right. He's running. He's swinging out with his rope, whatever. Necromentia. Oh, I did a whole video on this one. 2 black and 1. Choose a card name other than a basic land. Search target opponent's graveyard, hand, and library for any number of cards with that name and exile them. And then if any of those cards came from your opponent's hand, they get a 2/2 zombie for each card that came from their hand. The artwork shows a bunch of spirits being excised from this elf's mind. This artwork is really intense. But yeah, I did a whole video on that, so not too much more to say about it right now. Oh, we got the Liliana emblem. All right. It's not too bad. It looks half decent. All right. How are we making out here? How are we making out? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. You know what? Let's get into this pack here. I'm trying to experiment here, and like, I don't do a lot of pack opening videos, especially on a big scale. You guys know that. Most of the time, I go through and talk about every card. So I'm thinking about saving some of these packs that I have left over here and maybe not covering them this way, doing something else with them. So I'll figure it out, though. Sanctum of Tranquil Light. 1 white to put out. This is the white shrine. You can pay 6 mana to tap a creature. This ability costs 1 less to activate for each shrine, but can never go below that 1 white mana. So if you have out enough shrines, then it can get pretty crazy depending on how much white mana you have to tap down your opponent's creatures. In terms of like a tranquil shrine setting, I love this. It looks very nice. This like sea of sunflowers and this figure like etched into the wall kind of shrine concept. I dig it. And we got Tormod's Crypt. This originally came out in the dark. 0 to put out, tap and sacrifice it, exile all cards from target player's graveyard. Dominaria's most extravagant crypt nevertheless holds an empty grave. When this card came out, people were so angry. They wanted this to be restricted because people hated having the graveyards taken away. And there weren't even that many things you could do with the graveyard, but people just really didn't like it. So, I mean, here you can see what's clearly a crypt for Tormod. Who was Tormod? We don't really know. There's not much information about him. Then we got Twin Blade Assassins. A black, a green, and 3 for a 5/4. At the beginning of your end step, if a creature died this turn, draw a card. Rumors swirl of a pair of deadly Golgari assassins known only as the left and right hands of the Okran. All right, whatever. Shacklegeist. 1 blue and 1 for a 2/2 flyer. Shacklegeist can block only creatures with flying. Tap 2 untapped spirits you control. Tap target creature you don't control. The flavor text says, the blessed sleep doesn't come easily to a mind chained by regrets. All right, then. Oh, and we got a foil Burl Fist Oak. Look at that. 2 green and 2 for a 2/3. Whenever you draw a card, it gets +2/+2 until end of turn. And the flavor text is pretty lame, so I'm just going to skip it. But the artwork is awesome, man. I love that all the trees are bare. Autumn is hit, so there's this bed of leaves down here that he's tramping across. And he's got these gigantic green glowing claws that are just suffused with green mana. I really dig it. I think it's awesome. All right, and then we got a knight and a mountain. All right, you know what? I'm gonna crack one more pack here, and then we will call this experiment number 2 in the pack opening video series. Oh, all right, funky. Look at that. So yeah, you guys can let me know what you feel like overall between the 2 types of videos that I've done so far. Garruk's Uprising. 1 green and 2 for an enchantment that says when it enters the battlefield, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, draw a card. Creatures you control have trample. Whenever a creature with power 4 or greater enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card. Wow. Wow, dude, this is awesome. I'm totally going to be playing with this, like 100%. Oh, and look at the artwork, man. You got Groot standing there triumphant with his axe in the air as a ton of just giant beasts stampede by him. Yes, man, I'm all about this. Then we got Carrion Grub, but I don't think I'm going to be carrying about this. Haha. 1 black and 3 for a 0/5. It gets +X/+0. X is the greatest power among creature cards in your graveyard. When Carrion Grub enters the battlefield, mill 4 cards. All right. And there's the grub in the artwork. That's all I have to say about that. That's how little I care. That card just, I don't like it. Teferi's Tutelage. 1 blue and 2. It's an enchantment. Whenever it enters the battlefield, you draw a card and discard a card. Whenever you draw a card, target opponent mills 2 cards. Oh, that's good. That's pretty good, man. Honestly. All right. Flavor text says, Terrasol's 6th law of temporal recursion is easy to understand as long as you know the first 7. There you go. There you go. Check it out. I'm Teferi. I'm gonna be real, guys. When you get really close up on Teferi's head, like when he's been separated from the artwork or whatever, this doesn't look like light on his forehead. It literally looks like he's like painted. Like, it's really weird. That, like, seriously, get yourself a copy of the card and just stare at this part of it and tell me that it doesn't look weird. Ooh, nice rare. Ruined Halo. 2 white. Enchantment. As Ruined Halo enters the battlefield, choose a card name. You have protection from the chosen card name. I like this card. I think it's really funky. I like the concept of it, that you can protect yourself from anything. So you can use it to stop sorceries or instants that might target you, but you can also just go, I have protection from, and pick a creature, and that creature can't hurt you. And the artwork is funky. It shows a Kithkin from the world of Lorwyn, but this is during the dark cycle after the Aurora has happened. And this right here is the halo of protection. It's very specific protection. The artwork's very striking. I like that a lot. And we've got a foil Lofty Denial. All right. Look at the bird. Looks pretty amazing with the flames just splattering off of its wings. Is there somebody in the bird, like being held by the bird too? I can't tell. Either way, looks pretty good in foil. And then we got a forest and a knight. All right, my friends. So that was this experiment in package openings. Let me know what you think about it, contrasted and compared to the previous opening video that I did. I'm trying to find out which one is like the best feel for this channel. You guys know I only open a box every couple of months. I got to have the hookup. Somebody's got to hook me up for me to be able to do this stuff. So this is the way that I'm doing it, trying to find what the best plan is. So thanks for being a part of what I do and coming by. Let me know your thoughts, and I will see you all very soon.